So it's that time of day again.
I'm hungry.
It's dinner time, and I don't know about your house, but my house is a little chaotic after school. So as I'm trying to run kids to all their activities and make them do their homework, I still have to get dinner on the table. That's why I love sharing with you these 3-ingredient dinners, so dinner can be a lot easier. The first recipe I'm making is Instant Pot French dip sandwiches. So you're gonna take your Instant Pot, put in either a pork roast or a beef roast. It works either way. Then you're gonna add 2 cups of your favorite beef broth, or if you can find beef consomme, that's the best. Then you're gonna put your lid on, make sure that little knob is turned to sealing, not venting. Push the pressure cook button and you're gonna cook it for an hour. Now I like to let this sit for a few hours before I open the lid, then it will make your meat nice and tender to shred apart. Next, you're gonna add your shredded meat onto like a hoagie bun. I even used hot dog buns. You can have provolone cheese. I like to melt it or broil it in the oven for a few minutes. Then when you're all the way done, I like to dip it back into the juice. It's my favorite. Next up is baked bacon wrapped chicken tenders. That's kind of a mouthful. Okay, we're gonna add 2 cups of water into a big giant bowl. You're gonna add a little bit of salt, and then you're gonna go ahead and add 1 to 2 pounds of chicken, depends on how many people you're feeding. Then you're gonna put it in the fridge and let it sit there for about an hour or so. When you're done, go ahead and pull it out. We need to dry off this chicken. So I laid it out onto a cutting board, and then you can use a paper towel to dry it all off. Next, we're gonna add some cheddar cheese. So I have just little squares of cheddar cheese I'll put on each chicken, and then you're going to wrap each one in a piece of bacon. Trust me, it's gonna be good. Then you're gonna bake it at 450 degrees for about 13 to 16 minutes. Make sure you watch it so your bacon doesn't burn. When your bacon is done, you can also check the temperature of your chicken, make sure it's cooked all the way through, and then you can serve it. My kids love this. They also love dipping it in ketchup. Next up is pigs in a blanket. Now we had this growing up, but I have a few tricks to help you out a little bit to make it easier. Now I have a puff pastry sheet that I spread out and cut into 6 pieces. Then I'm adding on 6 pieces of cheese. Add a whole hot dog, you heard that right, a whole hot dog onto it. Then go ahead and roll up each individual hot dog. Now these look ginormous. Yes, my husband would probably eat this, but we're making them small by cutting them in half, but it's a lot less work to roll them all at the same time instead of doing little mini ones. So now we're gonna cut the hot dogs into thirds. Now this is what I remember growing up, and we used to make them with biscuits. You can do that too, but I love the taste of the puff pastry. So when you're ready, you can go ahead, line your cookie sheet. You can use whatever lining you want. I sometimes use foil too. And go ahead and put on your little hot dogs, or excuse me, pigs in a blanket. Now you want to make sure your oven is preheated to 425 degrees, and you're going to cook these for about 15 minutes. Now you want to keep an eye on them because every temperature is a little bit different. You don't want them to burn. I love dipping mine in a ketchup mustard mix. It's so good. Our next 3-ingredient recipe is ham and cheese crescents. Now we're going to start with the refrigerated crescent dough that comes in triangles, which I love. Then we're going to put 1 piece of ham down and 1 piece of cheese. Go ahead and roll this up. Now, some people might not like that the ham and cheese are bigger. You can cut it to fit your triangle if you want, but it doesn't really matter to me and my kids because it makes it kind of fun, a fun little shape. Go ahead and put them on your cookie sheet. We're gonna cook it at 350 degrees for about 9 minutes. You wanna watch it, make sure it is cooked all the way through. If not, you can keep it in there a little bit longer. This is an easy recipe. The next recipe is Ravioli Bake. This is kind of like lasagna, but with ravioli. So you're gonna take a jar of spaghetti sauce. You're gonna put about a half a cup down onto the bottom of a 9x13 pan. Next, you're gonna add frozen raviolis. You can find this in almost every grocery store in the frozen section. You're gonna do a line of raviolis, then you're gonna add a little bit more sauce on top. Spread that around a little bit, and then we're gonna add another layer of raviolis. Finish putting the rest of your spaghetti sauce on top, and then we're going to top it off with your favorite cheese. I like to use mozzarella cheese on this recipe. You can use about 1 cup to 2 cups, whatever you like. Now you're going to go ahead and put it in the oven. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Cook it for about 30 minutes or just until the cheese is melted and that ravioli is cooked all the way through. This recipe is so easy that even on busy nights, I can get my 13 or 11-year-old to help make it, bake it, and then serve. Next up is our healthy sheet pan chicken marinara. First, you're going to line your pan with chicken tenders. You can use as much or as little as you want. Then you're going to stick that in the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Then go ahead and pull it out and preheat your oven again to 450. While you're doing that, you're going to put just a little bit of your favorite marinara on every chicken tender. Now sprinkle a little bit of mozzarella on top of the sauce. Now when you're done with that, it's time to bake again. So I preheat my oven to 450 degrees. You're going to put it in for just a few minutes until the cheese is melted and a little bit crispy. Now I like to serve this with a little bit of lemon and more marinara sauce. Up next is our 3-ingredient BBQ Baked Salmon. This is my favorite way to cook it. So I take a foil-lined cookie sheet and put my salmon on it. Now you can use all kinds of salmon sizes on here. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper on top. Then you're going to add your favorite barbecue sauce. I like to use Sweet Baby Ray's on this one because it's not as liquidy and I just feel like it tastes so much better. Then you're going to put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. I like to keep checking my salmon to make sure that it's cooked all the way through, but usually 20 minutes will even get the thick areas. Now I like to serve mine over rice with a little bit of barbecue sauce on the side. The next recipe is 3-ingredient teriyaki chicken. So first you're going to take about 2 to 3 pounds of chicken cut up into your skillet. You're going to cook it on medium-high heat until it starts to brown. You want to get it pretty much all the way cooked through. Now it's time to add 1 cup of your favorite soy sauce and then a half a cup of brown sugar. Then go ahead and mix that up until it starts to thicken. Now I keep it at medium-high heat until it starts to boil, and then I just lower the temperature just a little bit. Keep it there. It will thicken up and dissolve and it will taste amazing. I like to serve this over rice. You can add a little sesame seeds on top and it's one of my kids' favorites. Next up is our 3-ingredient macaroni and cheese. Now don't knock it until you try it. So I need 5 cups of your favorite milk here. I like to use about 2%. Then you're going to add 1 pound of your elbow macaroni into the pot. You're going to want to stir constantly until your noodles are the texture that you want them. So it'll take about 10 minutes. Alright, when it starts to kind of look like this, you're going to go ahead and turn off your stovetop, and then you're going to add 2 cups of your favorite cheddar cheese, and then just mix that all together. Now please don't forget, you can add salt and pepper to taste. When it's all done, you can serve it with a little bit more cheese on top, and I'm telling you, you will love it. Next up is 3-ingredient sloppy joes. I love this recipe if I don't have any sloppy joe mix sitting around. So you're going to add 1 pound of ground beef to your skillet. Go ahead and brown that up. Now once it is all browned and cooked through, you're going to add 1/8 cup of brown sugar, 1/8 cup of yellow mustard, and then 1/2 cup of ketchup. And you're going to go ahead and mix it all together. Once everything is mixed, then it is time to put on your bun. I love to serve this with the side salad, with chips, whatever you want. Next up is 1 pan egg and turkey skillet. I like this for breakfast and for dinner. So make sure that you spray your pan with non-stick cooking spray. Then you're going to go ahead and put 1 pound of ground turkey into it. Now you want to make sure you break that up as you cook it. You're going to brown it all the way through. On top of that, you're going to add 1 cup of your favorite salsa. I like using Herdez salsa. That's my favorite right now. Then on top of that, you're going to add 6 eggs. Now I tried to place them kind of separate from each other just so they can be spread out. I'm going to go ahead and put my lid on and then cook them until however you like your eggs cooked. If you like your eggs a little bit softer, don't cook as long. If you want your egg yolks cooked, go ahead and break them before you cook them.
Now, if you want to see our 3-ingredient desserts, you can find it right up there. All right, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.